Hello, hello, beautiful collective. Welcome to the channel, Ascend with Me Tarot. We're going to do a collective reading. I'm going to look at divine feminine energy and divine masculine energies. Now, we're not looking, I'm not planning on looking at something in regards to your relationship with one another. I want to focus on what is in the energy of the divine feminine collective, what is in the energy of the divine masculine collective, and just try to pull out whatever messages Spirit has for each part of our collection, like divine feminine, divine masculine. Okay, so only take what resonates, leave the rest, and yeah, let's just go ahead and dig in and see what Spirit brings forward. Okay, Father God, Holy Spirit, beautiful archangels, ancestors, higher beings, thank you so much for this day, for this opportunity. I ask for a message for my divine feminine collective energies and the divine masculine's collective energies. I ask that you please bring forward truth, clarity, healing, confirmation, encouragement, or enlightenment for the collective. Thank you for allowing me to tap into these energies, for receiving these messages. I ask that you bring forward the messages for our highest vibrational energy, highest healing, understandings. Thank you. Archangel Michael, please put a white light of divine protection around my energy, the energy of my beautiful collective, and the energy of this reading. Thank you. Archangel Raphael, please clear and connect our heart chakras to your healing energy. Thank you. Thank you, ancestors, Spirit team, Holy Spirit. Amen. All right, so let's go ahead and just kind of get started. All right, Spirit, what is the overall energy of the Divine Feminine Collective currently? Where are they at? Where is the Divine Feminine currently at? Acquiring knowledge. You're dealing with the Shadow Queen energy, so overcoming insecurities and manipulations, acquiring the knowledge to have the power to overcome insecurities and manipulative energies. What about the Divine Masculine's current energy? Where are they at currently? Ideas preserved. So Divine Masculines are holding back right now. They're not taking action. They're the Ice Queen energy, so they're getting in touch with their feminine energy. Between you guys, you have the picture, the big picture, angelic help, and then the phoenix. So that's really beautiful. Resurrection, surrendering to change. Okay, so let's just go ahead and see what we can see for the collective. All right, Spirit. So Divine Feminine, we're going to start with your energies. You're in this Shadow Queen energy, which is, to me, what it's saying is, you're acquiring your spiritual knowledge, you're recovering your magic, you're overcoming insecurity and releasing manipulative energies, whether it's your own energy or the energy of others that you've been holding on to, okay, that have been able to manipulate you. Yes, and you're coming back into your beauty here. So you're focusing on the beauty, right? You're seeing the beauty along in the journey. You're seeing the beauty along the path. Okay, now Divine Masculine, ideas preserved. So they're holding back. I feel like I feel like masculines are still struggling with, confidence and going with the flow. They're trying to figure out how to go with the flow. It's like masculine is kind of, it's like they're learning to trust themselves, to trust their desires, to trust, the energy. They're learning to trust how to flow with the energy. Yeah, you guys have already had an energy exchange, or maybe you're both learning about, exchanging your energy in a more responsible, in a more uplifting way with those around you, right? It doesn't have to be necessarily with one another, but it's like you guys, we've been learning about energy exchange, about how we all exchange energy at every given time with one another, with all of life. It's always about exchanging of energy, and so I feel like individually that's what we are kind of being taught at this time. Divine Feminine, you've been facing your shadow, right? And you are coming up with this energy of beauty despite whatever manipulations and insecurities you had to overcome. You have acquired the knowledge necessary, and you're just focusing on the beauty of life, the beauty of your journey, the beauty of your experience. This masculine over here is still struggling with holding back from you, or just holding themselves back in some way. It's like they're not in the flow quite yet, but they're learning. I feel like they're isolated at this time. Okay? This masculine could, they feel entitled. They feel entitled to conquer the world, to be in control. They feel entitled, and they're having to break free from this entitlement. It's almost like this entitlement even over like the feminine collective. Masculines are kind of being shown. It's like they've been going against the grain for a long time, and so yeah, it's right now we're in this phase of hard work, working hard. This isn't physical labor. I'm talking that inner work, that inner labor, laborious spiritual work. Okay. But I want to go to twin flame angel numbers. Now this right here, it could speak of your connection with your person, but I'm focusing on us in union and connection with our higher selves. The union of, your spirit, your soul, right? Your guidance, okay? So divine feminine. Where is divine feminine currently in regards to union with her guidance, her higher self? Yeah, 1221. You're learning that it's okay to be happy. It's okay to stand alone. It's okay to be on your own 2 feet here. It says you're learning to provide your own happiness rather than relying on your twin flame to fulfill you. I feel like your twin flame had, that's that manipulative energy that triggered a lot of insecurity in you. And that was the role, that they were, that they were meant to trigger in you. A lot of these masculine energies who we face this manipulation with, we want to point the finger at them and be angry and things, but that's, we're missing the point. They manipulated us. They were allowed to manipulate us and to trigger our insecurities so that we would grow, so that we would learn to stand on our own 2 feet, that we would learn we don't need another soul to be happy. We don't need anyone else to be happy. All we need is ourselves, right? And we need to be in our power. Okay, so divine feminine, we've been learning to provide our own happiness, and we're not depending on another to fulfill us. And that's how you're in union with your higher self, when you're in that energy. Spirit saying, what about these masculines? They're not going with the flow right now. Like, they're holding back. But what are they learning? What is their higher self teaching them? That you're starting to figure things out, divine feminine, or either they're starting to figure things out about you. It says they're being shown about their divine feminines, okay? They're holding back from their divine feminines, but their higher self is connecting the dots back to you, divine feminine. It says your twin flame is now beginning to connect the dots back to you. So your masculine is seeing it's like this masculine is being held back from you, or they are holding back from you. I feel like spirit is holding them back from you, honestly, divine feminine. I feel like the masculines are being held back from us, a lot of us, because that's, they're not in the flow yet, right? They're still putting the dots together about what does this connection mean. And it's not about you guys being in a relationship together, and that's in like, a marriage, for example. It's not about that. It's about, you guys seeing each other clearly and accepting your journey, accepting, all that you may have been through, all that you trigger each other through, learning to accept and love each other regardless of what that is, but choosing to stand on your own, right? Like just because you this is your twin or your partner, your masculine or feminine energy, does not mean that you can't be happy or fulfilled unless you're in connection in the physical with them. You're already exchanging energies, okay? That doesn't require you to physically be connected. And so I think that's why these masculines are being held back, Divine Feminine, so that you can learn possibly that that's not the true meaning of connection, is that you have to, oh, we have to be married and have the white picket fence and a perfect relationship. That's never going to happen, and that's not what this connection is meant to be about, okay? It's meant to trigger you through this masculine being able to manipulate and trigger your insecurities. It's meant to give you the knowledge of being fulfilled, Divine Feminine, right? Standing up for yourself, not being this, oh, damsel in distress type energy that the masculine can manipulate and use to his benefit, right? That's the old way of things. We're not damsels in distress. We never have been. But somewhere along the line, we were kind of conditioned to believe that we needed our masculine to be in our lives, or, you know what I mean? Like, that created codependency. It created an illusion of what this connection is actually really meant to be about, right? So I think that had to get shaken up. That had to be, we had to be shown the bigger picture. Angelic help stepped in to our connections here to show us the bigger picture, to help us surrender to change. And the hardest one to change from or to release is your twin flame connection and your perception of what that's got to be marriage and a white picket fence, right? Because that's not what it's meant to be. Not everybody, okay? Maybe in past life that's what it was, right? Maybe in the future that's what it will be, but currently it's about us resurrecting, us learning our lessons, acquiring our knowledge, and resurrecting to exchange positive energy with one another, not energies of manipulation or power struggles or codependency, right? So a lot of us, our foundations have been shook up, right? These connections that we got lost in one another with, okay? Fantasizing like it's all going to be, what you see in the movies like that. I feel like we've had to learn to accept that that's not the point, okay? It's not the point. It's about us loving each other despite the chaos, accepting the journey no matter what it looks like, and learning to be fulfilled within ourselves and with our divine selves, no matter who or who is not in our physical, space, okay? So let's just get a little more here about the Divine Feminine. Where's she at with this lesson? Where's Divine Feminine currently at with providing, her own happiness? Where is the collective? Yeah, you're on an adventure. You stepped out. You stepped out of your comfort zone, Divine Feminine, and you're on a new adventure here. You're seeing life as an adventure. You're looking forward to new adventures, and you're looking beautiful. What about the masculine, who I feel like they're being held back from you spiritually? They're connecting the dots back to you, Divine Feminine. They're holding back their ideas. They're not taking action towards you. In the past, they felt entitled because it's almost like they created a situation where, they wanted you to be like this damsel in distress, codependent energy on them. And then they turned it and used it to manipulate you and to trigger your insecurities. Right? They used it to gain power from this connection. So I feel like that's why Spirit has held these masculines back from you, and now they're, connecting the dots. They're putting the truth of this connection together, right? They're starting to gain a higher understanding as to why they can't be with their Divine Feminines at this time. And it's because of this energy of entitlement. Yeah, power. It's because they were using this entitlement they felt they had over you, Divine Feminine, to be in power over you, and it was never meant to be like that. So Divine Feminine, you've been set free from this manipulation, from this insecurity, and you've been put on you're on your adventure, right? So whatever happened last time you guys were connected in the physical, there was an energy exchange, and that it's like Spirit brought y'all together just for that energy exchange. And it was probably chaotic. It was probably, you know, painful and scary, and you know, it was all the negative energy that needed to be worked out in each one of y'all, that was triggered for each one of y'all by one another. And that was that coming together at that time was necessary to ignite this energy exchange, right? Y'all's exchanging here it was necessary, whatever it was. It was necessary to get to where you're each going, for this masculine to get this awareness of, you know, how he misused his power in this connection, how he held back from you in the connection instead of going with the flow. He didn't see you for who you were at the time, right? His eyes weren't open to the spiritual essence of what this was about. He was still kind of seeing you through 3D eyes, and being in relationship depending on how much power he could get from relationship, right? It was that entitlement energy. You, on the other hand, you know, you have been acquiring the knowledge, right? This needed to trigger you to show you what you know, that you didn't, or you don't need another in order to be fulfilled. You don't need the white picket fence and you know, the perfect marriage and the perfect relationship and the 5 kids. You don't need that to be who you are, Divine Feminine, to be secure, okay? That's not, you know, that may be what you dream that you may need, or you feel like that's like the pinnacle of success of a relationship, is to have like the marriage and the white picket fence, no matter what the chaotic energy between the relationship may be. But as long as you got that intact, you're good. But that's not the truth. Because you can have those things intact, a marriage intact, the perfect home on the outside intact, and then you could have chaos and fighting and drama, and you're miserable, the masculine's miserable, the kids are miserable, right? Because the energy is off, right? The energy isn't intact. The energy isn't balanced between the situation, right? So it's almost like having to get real with yourself and just seeing the beauty of yourself, the beauty of you know, your life, and you being able to provide your own happiness, your strength, and the fact that you can go on any adventure that Spirit sets you on, and you can do that standing alone, or you can do that with a partner. You can do it either way, right? It doesn't have to be that end all be all white picket fence marriage energy, right? That you're fulfilled already within yourself. You're not this damsel in distress, and you don't even need to. It's like a lot of us at times have pretended to be those damsels in distress to feed the masculine's ego, right? To make him feel needed, but he used it as you know, it's like a lot of us were pretending to be these damsels in distress, right? For the masculine's sake, a lot of the time, to make him feel, I don't know, like the man, I guess. And maybe, you know, by pretending, we started believing that ourselves at one time. And we've had to be shown that we are not a damsel in distress. You are a powerful goddess who is a spiritual being, who is here to have a life of adventure. And that you are fulfilled. You can fulfill anything that you set your little heart and mind to, okay? Yeah, you're going to be successful no matter what, Divine Feminine, is what I'm seeing, okay? So let's just dig a little bit deeper. All right, so let's talk about this adventure for Divine Feminine. And the adventure is you providing your own happiness, you following your dreams, you believing in yourself, you having the courage to believe in yourself, and you know, to know that no matter how hard things may seem from time to time, Divine Feminine, you're going to be okay. Yeah, just continue to be patient, right? You're learning patience, and that everything happens in divine order. So you know, you don't have to control connections. You don't have to control anybody else in your life, right? As long as you're following your bliss, your joy, your peace, you can sit patiently and wait for the divine to manifest for you what is for you, right? So you're just kind of off having an adventure, you know, maybe studying new things, moving to new places, having new hobbies, having new relationships, and you're being patient. You're in the stillness, the calmness right now, Divine Feminine, of your life. Even if it seems kind of like chaotic on the outside. You know how Spirit was just saying, used to it would seem all like everything was perfect on the outside but chaotic on the inside. Now a lot of y'all, it may look chaotic on the outside but the inside is calm, right? It's like it doesn't matter what it looks like on the outside. What really matters is that inner peace, that inner calmness, that inner energy. Okay? And so, no matter if, things seem like they're a little chaotic on the outside, and other people might think that you don't got this together, or you don't got that together, you're not sweating it right now. You're not stressed. You're just sitting there in the quiet, in the calmness, listening for Spirit, being divinely guided, being patient and trusting. So that's really beautiful, actually. Masculines, power of pride. Masculines are, learning to love themselves and see themselves in everyone. They're learning to overcome their pride, which led to this power struggle, okay? These masculines are stepping into their actual natural power, I'm hearing. Not the power of masculinity that was conditioned in them through like entitlement and power struggle and, putting themselves above the divine feminine collective. Like that's, they're being held back. A lot of them are being held back until they come to an understanding about connection and about the feminine collective, specifically their divine feminines, okay? Until they gain this perspective, their flow of energy is kind of being blocked, right? They're not able to go with the flow right now, but they're having to look at their pride, which kind of led them to want to have power over others. That's what I'm seeing right now for the masculines, okay? So this isn't going to be too long of a reading, y'all, but I just wanted to put something out for y'all this morning. Well, I'll be doing another reading around lunchtime, but I know some of my collective like earlier morning readings depending on their location, so I wanted to get something out there for y'all. I love you guys. Alright, so tell me about Divine Feminine. What do you want her focusing on as she's patiently waiting for this divine guidance and, seeing life as a beautiful adventure? What is Divine Feminine? What do you want her to work on, or what do you want her aware of, or what is she aware of and working on currently? What do you want to say? Yeah, you're attracting. You're not chasing no more, Divine Feminine, right? You're not chasing. You're not controlling. You're attracting. You're learning how to manifest and enjoy your times of manifestation, okay? But it says anything or anyone that you chase after will run the other way because of the fears underlying chasing energy. Instead, attract what you need by sending out love, gratitude, and welcoming energy. So yeah, you're just kind of sitting back, focusing on you is what I'm seeing. You're not chasing the masculine anymore. You've surrendered to the process. Okay? You're waiting on the divine order of things, and you're manifesting your happiness through studying what makes you happy, right? Looking into the things and allowing in the energy that lifts you up. Is what I'm seeing. You're not chasing a thing here, and that's actually really beautiful. Spirit wants you to continue to be in that energy of just attracting what you need and releasing control and worry and the fear of the unknown, right? Don't chase anything. So what about the masculines? You guys, these masculines, they're holding back from you. A lot of them aren't talking to you at this time, I'm hearing. A lot of them probably they just don't know what to say to you. They're heavily studying this connection with you, Divine Feminine. It's like they're being blocked. They're not allowed to go with the flow because they're having to look at their pride and this power that they wanted over you, right? The way that they wanted you to be like this damsel in distress and codependent on them so that they could have control over the situation, control over the relationship, control over you. They wanted you to need them so they could have power to control the outcome of y'all's connection, basically. And Spirit's showing them, whether they did this consciously or just unconsciously, right? This is kind of what they were doing. Yeah, Spirit's giving them a lot of ideas right now. Spirit's giving them unlimited awareness and ideas. And you know, they're focusing on new ideas. They're seeing things in a new way right now, Divine Feminine. They're connecting the dots back about connection. It says, your mind is one with God's infinite mind. Therefore, you have a complete access to unlimited ideas guaranteed to bring blessings. All you need to do is take divinely guided action to allow these ideas to come to fruition. So they're holding back. A lot of them are holding back still, but that's because they're getting their divine downloads and they're getting like their guidance and you know, their lessons before they're able to take action. They're connected with the divine, right? Like they're strengthening their connection with the divine mind, okay? And they're learning how to get in that energy of seeing the beauty of life and releasing pride and power struggle. Spirit is, when it's divine timing, Spirit's going to give this masculine's, you know, the divinely guided action to bring, you know, this resurrection of y'all's connection, but resurrecting it in a higher vibrational frequency, right? It's like you guys will come into a resurrection, but you both have to be in the higher frequency for it to come into like the union that it's needed to be here, right? So what I'm seeing is the work's being done, the hard work, right? We had hard work a while ago. You're both working very hard on yourselves, you know, to manifest. Maybe you're both facing financial fears, but independently, you know. Yeah, you're both clearing your debts. You're both facing financial fears and clearing your debts, but I feel like you're doing it independent of one another, which is required. Okay, it's going to be required for you guys when you do come together for this thing to come into union. You're both in the energy of working hard for the renewal, right? You're both working hard for your own renewal. So when you're both in that energy of renewal, you're going to be able to attract each other back into union here, but it's going to be a renewed energy. You know, whether you guys have already come across each other's path or not, which a lot of you have. And it was a karmic exchange, right? The energy was triggering and karmic and painful. So there, you know, there was a separation so that y'all could see the big picture. So you could both individually resurrect in your own personal energy, and so you had to surrender to the change and no longer accept the karmic energy between one another. You're both having to look at the energy exchange that you both were bringing into this connection. But when you both kind of get your awareness of what you were bringing in karmically to one another, right? You're doing it individually, separately. You're having to look at your own karmic type energy here, heal and purge that energy from you, from yourself, so that when you come into your divine union, you're bringing in divine energy, right? You're both bringing in like this divine union energy versus coming in to trigger and harm and manipulate one another to teach each other lessons, right? You're going to step out of this part where you're just coming in and contact lifetime to lifetime to teach one another lessons, to where you can come into contact as a blessing for one another, right? A blessing, and it's like you're going to come together, and when you come together, it's building each other up, not tearing each other down. So yeah, Divine Feminine, you're in luxury. So when y'all do come together next time, because you're doing the hard work for your own personal renewal, it's going to be luxurious. It's not going to be detrimental to either one of y'all. It's going to bring in this energy of luxury for you guys, is what I'm seeing. Yeah, because you've done the past life. That's the clearing of debt, right? You guys have cleared your past life debt. So y'all came into a connection this time. A lot of y'all, okay, have come into a connection this time. And it was chaotic and it was karmic, and it was because you both had past life debt to one another that needed to be cleared. So y'all cleared that debt through this interaction, this last energy exchange that y'all had. Okay? Y'all cleared that past life debt, and then you went off in your own directions here, and you started, you know, clearing your own personal debt, right, that you hold within self, your own karmic debt that you hold within your thoughts and your perceptions and your emotions. So that's what you've been both doing individually, working hard. And yeah, you've been purifying your energies individually. So now that you guys have been purifying your energies, you're coming towards one another in this next future connection that y'all have, whether, you know, it's this lifetime or the next, I don't know, but I do see a future connection of y'all where there's pure intentions and luxury, because there's no longer past life debt. So that's what all this hard work has been. Yeah, your spirit guides are guiding you. That's why you're both focused on your union with your higher selves at this time. That's what's you're laying the foundation for currently, is, you know, your spirit guides and union with your higher self. Your union of self has to take place before you can have union with any other. Because when you come into union with another, it's not like you got to come into union to fill one another up, okay, to make each other complete. That's not what it's meant to be. You're meant to be whole within yourself, union with your own higher self. So when you come together, you're not taking from one another or trying to fill each other up. You're coming in and you're both bringing power, true power of self, and you're exchanging power and energy with one another, but it's not leaving one depleted and the other more powerful, right? It's bringing it in, and it's building you both up, okay? You got navigation tools, right? It's helping you guys strengthen your navigation tools instead of depleting one or the other as it did in the past. It's y'all coming, you know, together and renewing one another. You can have a renewal of your intimacy with one another once you get there. Once your work, you know, you get what we're talking about here, right? Once you both have done your work individually, you're going to have a renewal of intimacy. Right now, it's about union with your spirit guides, with your higher self, and whatever and everything that entails. Okay, that's a journey all on its own, right? That right there is the main thing right now for our collective. Okay, and then once you get this and this understanding, and you're in union and power. Okay, that's when you can come together and develop this luxurious, renewed, intimate connection. There's steps along the journey that have to be taken here. A lot of us come, you know, we meet up with our soulmate, our twin flame, right? And we skipped a lot of the steps before we got to one another. And then that's when all the chaos and the karmic dumping of energy began, and it left us feeling insecure and manipulated and entitled and you know, hurt and angry and things like that with one another in the past. But because of our love for one another and the strength of this connection, no matter what state the connection is in, you guys are going to always trigger each other into forgiveness and understanding and seeking higher healing for self and for one another, right? But yeah, but anyways, guys, my food is beeping in the background. I gotta go get that out of the oven. So yeah, just take what you can from this. This is just a little quick message for the collective. I love you so very much. Y'all have a wonderful day. Bye.